Ever wonder what it takes to stop a galactic war? Sometimes it's just one kid, one incredibly stupid brave act. In the first 20 seconds, you need to know this. A human boy stepped between a clawed nightmare and an alien girl, let the beast sink its venomous fangs into his own arm, and laughed while doing it. His blood turned the color of engine oil before he hit the ground. One good deed, one moment of cross-species courage, and two civilizations started sliding toward a war neither actually wants. Stick around. This is the fastest way to feel something huge tonight. 17-year-old Cade Mercer grew up in the scrap belt of Station V14, where oxygen smells like burnt plastic and every kid owns exactly one dream: get out. He's skinny, allergic to authority, and notorious for fixing busted drones with paper clips. This wasn't exactly the resume of a hero, right? When the Tri-Star Alliance opened V14 for the first alien exchange program, Cade's only plan was to sneak into the docking bay and gawk at ships that don't leak. He never expected to see a Vayari girl, silver skin, triple-jointed legs, cornered by a freight loader-sized predator some genius smuggled in as live cargo. Security froze. Adults hesitated. Cade didn't. He vaulted the barrier, jammed a shock stick into the creature's mouth, and took the counterbite straight through his forearm. Bones snapped like dry twigs. Venom hit his bloodstream like liquid nitrogen. The girl, her name is Errol, dragged him out while the beast convulsed from the shock. Paramedics arrive, see black veins crawling up Cade's neck, and immediately call for quarantine. Humans aren't supposed to survive Vayari venom, let alone the mutated strain this beast carried. Errol refuses to let him die alone. She clamps her palms over the punctures, sings a 4-note scale that turns the air crystalline, and essentially handcuffs her metabolism to his. If he flatlines, she flatlines. No pressure, just the fate of two species on her shoulders. 3 hours later, Cade wakes in a sterile dome on the alien flagship. His blood is officially the wrong color. Doctors speak in euphemisms: hematological divergence, chromatic shift. Translation: every heartbeat pumps poison deeper, turning his very essence into something alien. The only antidote is a protein found in Vayari royal marrow, rare, sacred, and protected by treaties older than Earth's space program. Errol is heir to a noble house, but even she can't donate. The dosage would kill her. She bargains with the ship's captain, her uncle, the same man who once ordered humans shot on sight, to grant Cade asylum until a workaround is found. Uncle says yes, provided Errol stays shackled to the boy, literally linked by bio-cuffs that mirror vitals. If Cade loses his temper, her pulse spikes. If she sneaks off, his liver shuts down. A perfect bind, designed to ensure loyalty and prevent any funny business. Meanwhile, Earth's delegation screams, "citizen abduction." Vayari purists scream, "contamination," and both fleets aim weapons at the same patch of empty space. One itchy trigger finger away from the first interstellar war in 2 centuries. All because a kid from the wrong side of an orbital dumpster decided to play bodyguard. They have 6 days before the venom reaches Cade's cerebral cortex and turns him into a living statue, conscious but paralyzed. A warning trophy for anyone who crosses Vayari fauna. Errol believes folklore. A hidden moon lab once brewed an anti-serum from the beast's own blood. Problem? The moon sits in the Kuiper DMZ, a shooting gallery of automated mines and trigger-happy exiles. It's a no-man's land, or rather a no-species land. They strike a deal. She'll guide him through the DMZ. He'll keep her heart rate steady by not dying. Sounds simple, right? They steal a courier shuttle, think tin can with thrusters, and launch without clearance. Every hour, those bio-cuffs tighten, a constant chilling reminder that mortality is a shared sport for them now. Cade jokes that if he's going to turn into a paperweight, at least it'll be a limited edition black one. Errol doesn't laugh, but her pupils dilate, which for Vayari is the equivalent of snorting soda out your nose. Trust begins, fragile as frost on a spaceship window. Halfway through the minefield, they're captured by exiles, humans and Vayari, who deserted during the First Border War. The exiles' leader, Commander Voss, lost an arm to Vayari plasma and offers Cade a devil's bargain: help hijack a medical frigate stocked with marrow extractors. And Voss will synthesize the cure, keeping just enough to weaponize later. Refuse, and Voss vents them both. Cade pretends to agree, then rigs the docking clamps to explode using the same paperclip ingenuity that once fixed drones. They escape in the chaos, but Errol is clipped by shrapnel. Her blood, cobalt blue, spatters across Cade's black-veined forearm, two incompatible pallets merging. For the first time, Cade fears loss that isn't his own life. He tapes the wound with duct foil, whispers an apology, the words catching in his throat. She replies, "Quit talking and keep breathing." That's an order. Somewhere between those words, teenage bravado becomes genuine devotion, forged in the crucible of shared danger. They reach the moon lab. Corridors frozen, lights flickering like dying fireflies. Inside they find prototype anti-serum, frozen in a block of carbonite light, plus data logs revealing Earth and Vayari councils co-developed the original formula decades ago, then buried the project to keep the venom viable as a biodeterrent. Politics, always politics, even for planet-ending bioweapons. Cade wants to smash the logs, furious at the deception, but Errol insists knowledge is neutral. It's fear that twists it. They thaw one vial, enough for a single dose. Cade's vitals crash, final stage. Errol straps him to an exam chair, loads the syringe, then hesitates. The cure may reject because his blood chemistry has mutated too far. She could lose the one human who didn't treat her like glass, the one who saw her, truly saw her. Cade, half delirious, tells her the single most teenage statement in galactic history. "If I die, promise you'll still trash-talk me at every diplomatic banquet." She injects. Black and cobalt swirl under his skin like oil paints in water. Heartbeat flatlines, then spikes. Color returns to his cheeks. Veins fade to normal. Biocuffs unlock and clatter to the floor, yet neither moves to break contact. Handholding now optional, but still chosen. Back in open space, they learn the news. Both governments have issued ultimatums. Earth demands Cade's return. Vayari demand Errol's. Each side brands the other as bioterrorists, conveniently ignoring that both helped design the venom. Fleets converge on Station V-14, weapons hot, captains waiting for the slightest flare. The galaxy teetered on the edge of utter devastation. Cade records an unfiltered transmission, video of the moon lab, of the Council's buried collaboration, of the anti-serum working. He uploads the files to every open channel, effectively doxing the architects of impending war, exposing their hypocrisy to the entire universe. Public outrage forces immediate ceasefire talks. Diplomats scramble. Soldiers lower cannons. Two teenagers, one black-veined and one cobalt-veined, become the galaxy's least likely heroes simply by refusing to let each other die. Weeks later, Cade walks Earth soil again. Medical scans showing zero residual venom but blood that still carries a faint obsidian sheen under UV light, a keepsake of the monster that almost owned him. Errol retains a thin scar above her brow, hair refusing to regrow, a silver line catching starlight like frost. They attend the peace accords not as diplomats, but as living reminders that fear loses power once people share oxygen, once they truly connect. Uncle, humbled, commissions joint research ships to mass-produce the anti-serum. Earth lifts trade embargoes. Vayari share terraforming tech. Old grievances don't vanish overnight, but for the first time in generations, kids on both worlds dream beyond the next skirmish. Cade and Errol enroll in the inaugural Interspecies Academy, think space camp with higher stakes, where they teach the next wave of scrappy idealists that courage is just curiosity plus refusal to blink, and that true strength comes from unexpected alliances. One bite, one choice, and two skies full of warships stood down. Cade's blood turned black. Errol's world turned inside out, but together they dragged both species back from the brink. If you ever doubt a single act can redraw the stars, remember the boy who laughed at fangs and the girl who sang poison into harmony. Their colors didn't match, yet mixed just fine. Hey, if this story hit you in the feels, smash that like so the algorithm knows humanity still roots for big damn heroes. Drop a comment telling us what you'd risk for someone not even from your planet, and subscribe for more sci-fi recaps that punch above their weight. Until next time, keep your heart rate steady and your options open.